Oh my god, so much stuff to talk about. What's up everybody? Not just the new monsters, there's other stuff too. As much as everyone is angry about the Shayna, Sabrina, Martina nerf, they're still getting nerfed. There is a silver lining. We have this new update special. Comtro's trying to make up for it. They're giving us a lot of goodies to try to make up for the fact that we put a lot of time, energy, investment into Shayna, Sabrina. They actually seem to have listened to the community. The community was going in uproar, right, about this whole thing. So they actually seem to listen to that and create this update special event to address the concerns that the community has. I mean, they can't like fix it magically perfectly, but at least they're trying, which is good. At least they're trying. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the new monsters as well, the Gargoyle and the Demon. Let's also talk about this new monster update special, which is a different thing. Remember what happened with the snipers, where the snipers came out, and you're like, great, but I only have like 100 scrolls, I'm not gonna summon a sniper. And then you get like, they had the event where you get a couple lightnings, and then you get a sniper scroll, and then you can summon one of the snipers from that scroll. Same thing with the Gargoyle. So we're gonna be able to get a Gargoyle scroll, summon 5 times lightning during the event, and you get a Gargoyle scroll as well as some other goodies. But yeah, this is nice so that everyone can have, hopefully it's the good one. Well, I don't really know, actually I don't really know what the good one is yet. The fire one seemed interesting. Some of them seem interesting, but we will have to take a look to see like in actual gameplay what these different monsters could do. Maybe I'm overlooking some of them. Maybe I'm like, oh, you know what, this could be better, this is better than I thought, this isn't as good as I thought. Because sometimes when it actually gets played with, it's like, wow, I can't believe I didn't see how good this is. Or like the Diana situation didn't really seem like, did we really think that Diana was good at it? Anyway, that's besides the point. Whatever, we have Gargoyle scrolls. That's the main premise of that. This update special, dear lord. Okay, first off, Chakram Dancer, Hall of Heroes returns. So we have another Hall of Heroes. Did you miss it? If you did, well, here it is again, because she just got buffed. She used to like barely ignore defense, like not barely, but rarely ignore defense. Like she needed them to be stunned, plus 25% chance, and it like didn't happen like consistently all the time. And it's just like, well, why not just Lucian if you want to ignore the defense, right? So now she does AoE damage based on enemy max HP. Think of her as a twins version of Sigmaris. Okay, like Sigmaris, but attacks with twins, because she can AoE stun, and she can also do damage based on max HP. Then we also have, what else do we have? Event 1, update special, 7 days of check-in event. Energy, mystical scroll, monostones, Raymond, shape-shifting stones. Shape-shifting stones? 100 shape-shifting stones. I know a lot of people that are going to be happy about that, especially people that were like, oh, I spent my stones on Shayna, on Sabrina. I mean, I don't even know why Sabrina got nerfed in the first place. Like, she wasn't even the OP one. It was Shayna. The Shayna was the troublemaker. Damn it. Anyway, and then Mystical Scrolls and Light Dark. The Mystical Scrolls, who cared about those? Light Dark Scrolls is nice, though. So there's that free rune removal event. This is 4 days. 4 days of rune removal. After the update in each server, August 28th through September 2nd. This is 4 days of... You just redo your entire account. You have 4 days to do it. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Well, now I have to rerun my whole account. Oh, we have 4 days to do that. So GG. Maybe it's not 4 days. Maybe I'm adding wrong. And how many times did Bagel say 4 days is not even the amount of days? Anyway, whatever amount of days, you get several days to do rune removal is the point. And then the Light Chakram Hall of Heroes returns, which is great. Makes up for the fact that a lot of people fed. Even people I say, like, oh, don't feed all your Light Chakram. They're like, oh, too late, I already did it. Too late. Did Bagel say don't feed it all? He's stupid. Let's do it anyway. Oh, who knew it was going to get buffed? I say this every time for 5 years. Nobody listens to me for 5 damn years. Anyway. Vega, did you turn into Mickey Mouse? Yes, I turned into Mickey Mouse. How did you know? GG. Very observant. That's not the one I wanted to click on. This is the one that I wanted to click on. Update notice. We talked about a lot of this already. We talked about, not those things. We talked about this. Number of waves changed from 5 to 4 is huge. It is the biggest thing. For Giants, Dragons, Necropolis, 5 waves into 4 waves. You're gonna, I mean, why is this not like on the tip of everyone's tongues? Like, holy crap. There's 5, everything's gonna be faster. All your farming, people are upset that their times are gonna be erased. But they're just going to be having new best times anyway. They're going to be like, oh, I'm doing it in 23 seconds. 23 seconds, like legitimate 23 second Giants times. So yeah, it's great. And then also the essences that you get are going to be increased. This total, and this is the R5 boss. People are saying like you're not going to be able to do. I'm going to test it out. I'm going to test it out to see like the different viable R5 options. We might see new R5 meta emerge. We will have to see. Where's Math Plus Games when you need him? Damn. Every time I mention Math Plus Games, people are either angry at me or angry for another reason, or I don't know. People get emotional. Anyway, I don't even know. Where is he's streaming World of Warcraft? That's where he is. I saw he was streaming it today. He was streaming at like 3 in the morning. Well, he lives overseas, so anyway. That's besides the point. Rift dungeons are easier. All these different things are easier. Homunculus, building the homunculus. If you're early game, this is great for you because you're going to have a much easier time than we did. Like back in the beginning, I built my homunculus in the beginning. It took forever. Then they reduced the requirements and now they're reducing it even more. Maybe don't put your fingers in your mouth while you're talking. Maybe they reduced it even more so that people are going to be able to farm it much easier. And then we talked about these in the other video. This is also new. The returning user benefit is new, I believe. So, yeah, and all profile records will be reset. So anyway, that is that. We already talked about those in the last video, though. So everyone, and a lot of people watched that. A lot of people, probably even more people are going to watch this one. But anyway, all that we talked about more in depth. New monsters, Demon and Gargoyle. This is my most exciting thing of the whole video. Demon and Gargoyle, it's interesting. Some of them are different. And called this. We were talking about it in stream the other day. Was it yesterday? Monday? I don't know. We were talking about like theory crafting, like what the new things are gonna be. Like, oh, Gargoyle, we were theory crafting, he's gonna turn to stone. And then someone mentioned like Tanuki Mario. Like we talked about this in stream, like he's gonna have a stone state. He literally has a stone state, word for word. We nailed it right on. Well, we didn't go too much into like what exactly is not gonna happen to him in the stone state. We were a little bit off on like, thought he wasn't gonna take any damage, he was gonna be completely invincible. It's a little bit different, but he does have a stone state, which is great. And then the demons, things with like death and prevention and revive and things like that, we kind of theory crafted that it was going to be something like that. It kind of is. So let's talk about it. Sword of Destruction, all of their first skills, decreases the current HP of the enemy with the best HP status, boss excluded by 10%, and attacks the enemy enemy target to inflict damage proportional to the reduced HP. So, excuse me. So this decreases, like let's say you're in arena. Let's say you are fighting like a Theomars, Chasun, a Ladriel. Like, that's not the defense that I'm going to be hitting. Theomars, Chasun, a Ladriel, and I don't know, Fire Inugami for whatever reason. Eladriel's got the highest HP, but you want to target the Fire Inugami, right? Fire Inugami's got like half HP. So he's going to take some HP from the Eladriel. This is what when I'm reading this is what it looks like it's going to do. Takes some HP from Eladriel, decrease the current HP of the enemy with the best HP status if he's the highest HP, and attacks the enemy target the enemy target is not going to be Eladriel, the target would be Fire Inugami, inflict damage proportional to the reduced HP. So he's going to say, I'm going to steal some HP from Eladriel, and then I'm going to use that HP, multiply it somehow, and then hit the Fire Inugami with whatever multiplied HP I stole from Eladriel. So that's what it's looking like it's going to do. We'll see if it's different in actual gameplay, but it's Nat 5, the monsters aren't even in the actual game yet, and also it's in Nat 5, so I'm not going to be able to summon it like right away, but we'll see. Devil's Bargain. Oh my god, I'm getting like winded, damn. Devil's Bargain absorbs all allies' HP by 10% to attack all enemies, dealing damage proportional to the absorbed HP, recovers the attack bar of allies by 20% afterwards. I wonder if any of these have really high base speed. Recover the attack bar of allies. If something has like 113 base speed, this could be interesting, right? Damage proportion to absorbed HP and increase attack gauge. You could use that as fluff damage for like a Lucian, right? It could be an attack bar booster that also does fluff damage to the enemy team. That's the first thing that I was thinking about it when I was thinking about it. But it's kind of interesting that he's fluff damage plus attack gauge booster. So like he would maybe take the place of your burnout. I don't know how fast he's going to be or whatever, but just an interesting concept to that. Then we have Flames of Hell. Always perform an attack that has attribute advantage on all enemies, like Theomars. Inflicts the number of continuous damage proportional to the amount of damage dealt for 2 turns. This is kind of phrased weird though. Continuous damage proportional to the number of damage dealt, to the amount of damage dealt. So, I really don't know what exactly it is, but maybe it's just a tremendous amount of continuous damage. We'll see. But attribute advantage on all enemies is very interesting. I feel like this is going to be an arena offense unit. So again, we'll see. He could also be a nice combo with a Camir, the Winterfreed. But again, we'll see. I want to see how these things go. Sword of Destruction for the water one, same as I mentioned before in the Fire Nagami example, because the Sword of Destruction is the same for all of them. Madness Judgment. This is the other second skill that some of them have. Because the wind one has the Devil's Bargain as well, and the light one has the Devil's Bargain as well. The one that attacks all enemies and increases the attack gauge. So whatever one of those has really high base speed could be viable for that. But Madness Judgment on water one consumes half your current HP to attack the enemy target. Half your current HP, attack the enemy target. And remember when they even teased, they were like, oh, something about use the power of consumed souls. Right, because they teased in one of the things what the monsters were going to do. I'll show you. Well, can we see? We can see, right? We can see. 2 monsters previews. Yeah. Because we were using, this is how we were theory crafting what they were going to do. Demon Powerful, default 5-star monster, uses the power of souls. And then Gargoyle is default 4-star monster, devil-shaped statue. So that's where we were taking the stuff from. It's taking the info from. But use the power of the souls to his advantage. So steals souls from things and then does damage. Consumes half your current. Back to the actual thing. Bale takes 5 minutes to explain anything. They explain one little thing is what I meant. Attack will ignore a portion of the enemy's defense as your HP status worsens. So you want him to be low and does damage based on the lower his HP is, the more damage he's going to do, the more, the more damage he's going to do because he's going to ignore more percentage of enemy's defense. So the thing is, ignoring enemy defense really depends on multipliers, but of course we know that, right? A lot of times when you have something that ignores enemy defense, it's got a low damage multiplier. That's why when something else has a defense break, like you don't see Lucian doing 100,000 ignored defense damage. So, how to explain? This could have a very high multiplier and attack well if there's a defense break, and then like if you get the perfect situation, it could be like crazy amount of damage. So, interesting. Then we have the repeated nightmare. I mean, I would love to see like it in action, but anything that ignores defense, even if it's not fully ignore defense, ignores portion. I even think I talked about this in videos. This is weird, like lately, like a week ago. I was like, it'd be interesting to see more things that partially ignore defense. I talked about it somewhere, maybe it was a stream, I don't know. Repeated Nightmare revives with little HP and fills up your attack bar by 100% if allies and enemies act for 12 turns when you are dead. So he's just gonna randomly revive himself. He's just gonna be like, oh, did I die? Cool, I'm dead. Enemies and allies act for 12 turns, right? If it's not like cleave teams, if it's teams that like Gani Hathor are gonna be doing things, Vertiheel got a lot of turn cycling, turn denial kind of things. He's gonna be like, hey, you know what? There was a lot of turns. Guess who's alive again? That's right, it's me. It's me, the water demon. The water demon. So anyway, that's kind of interesting. We don't see. It's kind of like the opposite of Vanessa. Like Vanessa, if she's not on cooldown, when the enemy, when you die, when one of your allies dies, they come back. And if it's like Vanessa can't revive anything after the fact, right? She's not like a straight reviver. So this is like, no, man, I just revive myself naturally. It's kind of like the opposite of Vanessa, basically. So then we have Sword of Destruct, the wind one. I'm getting ahead of myself. Getting ahead of myself, guys. Very exciting. Devil's Bargain is the same as the fire one, which we mentioned. Deals damage to, or absorb other allies' HP to attack all enemies, deal damage proportion to the absorbed HP. This one's an HP type unit, by the way. Keep that in mind. Excuse me. This one's the HP type unit. Recovers the attack bar, which we said about the base speed, etc., etc. Soul Stealer passive. This one's crazy. No one can be revived while you're on the battlefield. No one can be revived when you're on the battlefield. So anti-Vanessa, anti-Perna, anti-Samath, anti-Nagang, anti a lot of things. So this one's going to be, I feel like, even though it's an HP-based unit, this is going to be a great unit for arena offense. The damage you inflict on enemies will be increased by 20% each when an enemy or ally dies. It accumulates up to 5 times. Why couldn't, like, this couldn't be the Wind Cannon Girl? That's a good one though. That's gonna be a good thing for people are gonna use this in arena offense. It's gonna be great. That's where I see this being, like, this is gonna be something you want to summon for arena offense. Doesn't mean you have to. Doesn't mean everyone has to summon it. There's gonna be a kind of a counter to a meta defense of a bunch of stuff that revives. So. Poor Nagang. Nagang's like, oh man. Nagang owners are like, God damn it, that's the one thing I had. Now you take it away from me. Hopefully not that many people farm me with that. So the light one, Sword of Destruction, same as the other one. Devil's Bargain, the same as like the wind one and the fire one we talked about just now. Red Battlefield, like the Red Wedding. The attack bar of all allies will be increased by the proportion to the damage dealt, and the damage you deal on enemies will be increased by. So this is proportion to the damage. This is 2 things that's increasing his attack gauge. How much attack gauge is he actually going to increase? It's going to be a crazy amount. Because the second skill increases attack gauge, and his passive increases attack gauge. Damage deal on enemies will be increased by 50% at the most whenever all enemies and allies on the battlefield receive damage. This one's kind of like worded a little bit weird, the second part of that. So, I was thinking about it, but this is a lot of attack bar of all allies will be increased by proportion to the damage dealt. That's a lot of attack gauge increase. That's a lot of turn cycling. That might be really cool. So that's something I want to play with to like see like the full effect of him. But it's interesting to say the least. Now we have the dark one, an attack type monster as well. Like the light one kind of seems like the light Horus a little bit as far as like what he does with the attack gauge increase. The dark one decreases, the first skill is the same. Madness Judgment is the same as the water one. Ignore a portion of the enemy's defense. This is also attack power unit, right? So this is also attack power unit. And then we have Purgatory passive. If you kill an enemy with your attack, you will revive one of your dead allies with the HP that is the same of the damage you dealt on the enemy target. If the ally dies while you're dead, you'll be revived with little HP and 100% attack bar. Self-revive and revive. This is pretty cool. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. But if you have the wind one, no one can be revived anyway, so GG. It's really cool to see like more like death prevent or more revives or prevent revives and things like that. So it's very much in with the theme. Then we have the gargoyles. Stone Claws, all of them first skill Stone Claws. Attacks the enemy to inflict damage according to your defense. So they're all defense-based monsters. Increases your defense by 20%. Accumulates up to 5 times. Like Artemiel. I mean, what? That's not a good thing at all, right? So he's already looking like Artemiel. Defense and stacks defense as well. Destructive Claws inflicts damage proportional to your defense. Destroys target's HP by the amount of damage dealt. Afterwards, you'll be turned into a statue until the next turn, because we were saying statue state. So everyone has a statue state. So while you're a statue, you won't be able to move, but you will gain immunity against inability effects Bye-bye, Hathor. Bye-bye, bye-bye, Hathor. Say what again? Say what again? I'm sorry. Immunity against inability effects. Receive 30% less damage and recover your HP by 10% until your statue state is gone. And this should not be, like, Oblivion-able either. Well, the passive will be Oblivion, but the statue state shouldn't be Oblivioned. Shouldn't be Oblivion against it. Receive 30% less damage and recover your HP by 10% until the statue state is gone, though. Is nice. And then Statue of Protection passive. If your turn ends with full HP, you'll be turned into a statue until next turn starts. Damage dealt. So you want to make sure he's got full HP as much as possible to give him statue states while he's not moving until the next turn starts. So in between turns, you want him to be immune to inability effects and receive less damage and recover HP. So try to make him so shields wouldn't be bad on him either, right? Shields wouldn't be bad on him. Damage dealt on allies will be reduced gradually until he. Sorry. Damage dealt on allies will be reduced gradually if the ally gets attacked with multiple hits when you're turned into a statue. So this, I was reading this, and it seems like he is a good unit again, or he's intended to be a good unit against Gani, Hathor, Vertiheel. Let's see if it's, maybe I'm wrong. I could be very wrong. He's got element advantage over that. He's got immune against inability effects. And he also has damage on allies will be reduced gradually if the ally gets attacked with multiple hits when you're turned into a statue. So, if your teammate. So it seems like he might be good against those teams, or maybe I'm just hoping he's good against those teams, right? We'll have to see. Well, a lot of this is we'll have to see, because sometimes it looks good on paper and it doesn't really work very good, or vice versa. Or it doesn't look that good on paper and it's like, wow, that's super OP, how did I not see that? Earth Strikes, skill 2, inflicts damage on enemies proportion to your defense and provokes them for 1 turn, 80% chance each. So, big damage and provoke, kind of like Varad, defense-based water unit, does damage and crowd control, but it's not straight crowd control that can be countered by Josephine because it is a provoke. So, where were we? Well, your statue won't be able to move, but you will gain immunity against inability effects. Same thing with statue state, 30% less damage, recover your HP. And then we have Statue of Robust. If your turn ends, oh my god, Bagel getting ahead of himself. With less than 30% HP, you'll be turned into a statue until the next turn starts. The target that attacks you will have its attack power decrease for 2 turns when the target attacks you when you're turned into its. Jesus, fart knockerin. They're defense tanks. They're all defense tanks. You're welcome. That's the whole story. They have statue states and they're defense tanks. We have to see how these are actually used, and if in battle. I don't get that excited about the water one, to be honest. The fire one seems exciting. The wind one, let's talk about the wind one. He's got the earth strike, the same one as the water, the AoE defense-based provoke. And then the statue of pain on the wind one is the different part. When you're turned into a statue, inflicts damage proportionate to your defense to the targets that attack you, like Joltan does with HP, but he does with defense, okay? Which is nice. Proportionate to your defense. You stack a bunch of defense on him, and the enemies just passively take damage, even if he doesn't ever get a turn. Also decreases your skill cooldown time when you get attacked with a critical hit. So he's going to be able to have a lot of access to that Earth Strike provoke. It's kind of like what Skogul does with the decreased cooldown time on the rock. So think about it like that. I mean, it's not ignore defense kind of thing, but yeah, think about the wind one like Joltan, but defense based instead of HP based. Then we have the light one, which I feel like could be the most OP one of all. Earth Strikes the same one, damage based on defense and provokes, which is, we already said damage based on defense and provoke. Statue of Trial. When you are turned into a statue, increases the skill cooldown time of the target that attacks you by 2 turns. So he provokes so that they have to attack him, and then when they attack him, he increases their cooldown. He's like the opposite of, he's not the opposite of Zyros, he's like Zyros, but a passive Zyros. Let's say you're getting attacked by, I don't know, let's say you provoke Eladriel, Varad, why do I keep saying Eladriel? Eladriel, Varad, Hathor, Chasun. I don't, whatever, it doesn't matter. Eladriel attacks you. It increases the skill cooldown on his revive. GG. Varad attacks you. Increases the skill cooldown on his CC. His attack gauge resets and freezes. Jasoon attacks you. Increases the cooldown on her heals. So that seems really cool. That seems really, really, really cool. If you could just get like consistently provoking things and like consistently like increasing their cooldowns, seems insane. So, yeah. That's in statue state though. That's just in statue state. And then we have the dark one. Destructive Claws is the same as the fire one. Does damage based on defense, destroys target's HP. And then the Statue of Immortal passive for the Dark One. When your turn ends, you will be turned into a statue until next turn with a 30% chance. You can't get defeated if you are turned into a statue. So this is... it seems cool, but we've seen this with Garrow. We've seen this with the Light Joker. Like, you have a small chance to, like, not die. So Garrow had to get buffed to, like, guarantee his not death. And then that made him super strong. This guy is just 30% chance. So, 30% chance that he doesn't die. But 70% chance that nothing happens. 70% chance that he like dies fine, and he's not even very strong in the first place, and the fire one probably would have been a better idea. So, yeah, the light one seems like the coolest one. The light one seems the coolest one. Some of these, the demons though seem very cool though. But anyway, I'm sorry I get so like long-winded because I confuse as I'm talking about these. I'm like confusing myself. I'm like, no. Just give them the easy way. Give them the easy example. But a lot of these things also we do need to take a look at and see like how they actually function, if they function better or worse than anticipated. The ignore defense potentially is cool because it doesn't fully ignore defense, but it does ignore partial ignore defense / a portion of ignore defense. Whatever, they seem interesting. We'll play with them in videos, and they're gonna be video-rific. That's what I should have just said. I should have just said, they're good. Summon everything you have for them. Second mortgage your house. Get them immediately. You know, I don't think you need to get them immediately, but some of them could be pretty cool. Some of them seem pretty cool. So, some of them seem pretty cool. I want to play with them. So, we'll play with them and we'll see how they do. Some of them are more exciting than others. Typical new monsters announced. Some of them seem more exciting than others. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you made it this far, oh my god, you deserve a slice of pizza. Congratulations, unless you're gluten intolerant, in which case, don't do that because you're gonna poop everywhere, right? So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys are excited about the new info, about the new monsters, about the fact that everyone's gonna get if you get 4 lightnings, over 5 lightnings over the course of the event, you get a gargoyle. GG. So many people will be able to easily get gargoyles if you want to put the effort into doing summons for them, or if you've saved summons for them, like I did, because I have so many gosh darn summons. I'm getting those. I'm getting them. I'm getting stuff. I don't know. I'm getting stuff, guys. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna do a lot of summons on stream this coming. I'm doing. This is in the middle of the night that I'm recording this, so we're gonna be doing a lot of summons on stream. Gonna be getting a lot of fun new toys. See you as always. Hope you enjoyed it. See you as always in the next one. Probably gonna post a lot of videos today. So there you go. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to bed. I'll see you as always in the next one.